Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all well. I'm excited about this video. I just had a listen to this pedal for this demo and I was like, yes, I'm going to have fun with this. We're looking at the brand new SYNTH-1 pedal from Keeley Electronics. Hopefully you know who Keeley Electronics are. Robert Keeley is well renowned for his history in pedal manufacturing and pedal modding. He's a really nice guy. I caught up with them at the NAMM show and I didn't actually get a chance to try the SYNTH-1 pedal, but I heard about it and I've now been sent one over and it is really cool. It's easy to use, it's simple, but the sound quality and the effect itself is very inspiring. And in 5 minutes of just testing it, I was like, this is going to be sick. So I don't want to play it too much without filming my reaction and getting into the pedal itself because it's full of surprises, tonal surprises. It's the gift that keeps giving, I think. In any case, this is a SYNTH-1. Let's run over the features. Okay, so a little bit about SYNTH-1 before we go over the controls, as it's quite a detailed design. I've got a little bit of literature here just to reinforce what it is that this pedal does. But in a nutshell, it's a synth. It's almost like it's a synthesizer in a pedal. It turns your guitar into a synth signal, and you can blend it. You can change the attack, the level, and of course the filter sweep. Basically, that's what it does. It also has a heavy duty, like a rocker switch, that changes the type of synthesized sound between sine wave, sawtooth, and square wave. Which, if you know about synthesizers, it generally changes the sort of the quality of the signal. Sine wave being very smooth, square wave being the opposite. It's very clipped, and sawtooth is kind of a halfway house. It's smoother, but it's got a rasp to it. But anyway, the literature reads this. Essentially, the synthesizer is ran through a Moog-inspired low-pass ladder filter, 4 signal order low-pass filters in series, with a response of 50 Hz to 5000 Hz at -24 dB octave for the square, saw, and sine programs. The frequency is swept up to the cutoff with the same envelope as the volume. There is a fixed feedback path which provides a boost around the cutoff filter for a more pronounced sweep. Hopefully that made sense. Basically, it's like a Moog-inspired synth pedal. Now you can see I do have a Moog Subsequent 37 over there, which I've used on recordings, and it's all over the Tosca album. I'm not a synth connoisseur, as it were. I'm definitely a novice in that area of things, but I love the way they sound and the quality of the sound you can get. So this kind of pedal is really interesting to me because it says I can write cool riffs with this. It's a cool effect that I'm going to be able to use in my songs, and that's what I'm excited about. The cool thing about this pedal as well is it has a TRS jack output on the side for an expression pedal, so you can control that filter knob with your foot. And I watched a video of Robert Keeley talking about this pedal, and he said he designed it to be used like an instrument on your pedal board that enhances your overall sound. So rather than it just being a pedal that you find your sort of sound and you're like, cool, let's go, it means that you can actually use this in real time and actually treat it like its own little mini instrument to your guitar, hence the heavy duty rocker switch on top, so that you can actually push that down with your foot and you don't run the risk of breaking it. So the thought has gone into how does this translate to a live application. So the layout for the SYNTH-1 is pretty straightforward. In the bottom right you can see that rocker switch which changes between the sine wave, the saw, and the square wave. The controls on top are, you've got level, attack, and blend. Level, of course, is your overall volume of the signal. Attack changes the speed of the effect coming in and out, so all the way down is a low attack, meaning you'll hit a note and it will slowly fade in, which is really cool for swells, that kind of thing. And then when you put it all the way up, it's a very fast attack, so it will be more responsive if you want to do something that's a bit more intricate in terms of your picking pattern, let's say. And then blend, which goes between a dry and a wet signal. So you can hear, depending on the guitar tone you've got underneath, you can have that come through, mix with the synth sound, or you can go all the way over with the blend and it's just the sound of the pedal itself. And then over to the top right you've got the filter control, which is a frequency sweep. So essentially it takes out the high end. It's like a low pass filter, so you know all the way down you're just going to hear lots of low end, and as you bring that up you'll be bringing in more high frequencies. So it's really going to be quite cool for that kind of, well, I'll show you in a bit because I know exactly what I'd use that for. The TRS jack out on the side is what controls that as well. It overrides it on the pedal. So if you want to use that on the floor with an expression pedal, then that's how you do that. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got a Roland EV5 expression pedal plugged into this. And then we've got the Chaos switch. Now, the Chaos switch it jumps between two different types of tracking. And there's a little bit more in-depth information in the pamphlet you get with the pedal, which I'm going to read to you because, again, it's quite detailed. So, the Chaos switch. The Chaos switch changes the type of detection used. In the normal mode, positive and negative peak detectors are compared to the input signal to obtain the period. This is the same type of detection used in, say, the Boss OC2, and is much more stable and consistent. Basically, it means it's not going to jump around. It detects the note and it sticks to it, and it allows you to play. It's very true to what you're actually playing on the guitar. In Chaos mode, 0 cross detection is used on the saw and square to obtain the pitch. So what that means is Chaos mode is essentially, it finds it a lot harder to track, and it uses a different detection mode in order to stick to the note, but it doesn't do it as well. The idea is that it almost fails a bit to give you that kind of chaotic, warbly kind of synth sound. It then goes on to say, this mode is only looking for a sign change on the input signal. It has a harder time determining the fundamental from harmonics, causing it to be more unstable. The Chaos sign mode uses a standard octave down with another octave slightly out of tune to cause flanging type modulation. The signal is then hard clipped to achieve distortion. So yeah, it basically, in a nutshell, what I said before was it struggles to track quite as well. And what that means is you're just going to get some really cool artifacts going on and some really weird kind of synthy sounds. And in a nutshell, just a great sounding, chaotic, synthy experience. Hopefully my trusty video editor, John, has consolidated my waffle down into a nice, easy to understand chunk of speech, because I want this video to be more about the playing and the sounds. So signal path, I'm running this straight into the front of my VX100 Super Kraken from Victory Amps. That's going into the 2 Notes Torpedo Studio, captured with the Universal Audio Apollo X8P interface, and I'm going to use my trusty Gibson Les Paul 1971 custom, amazing, awesome thing, and my Music Man JP15, because it's been a little while since he's been out having a chill, having a noodle. So let's get into it. Okay, so we'll start with the JP15, straight into the front. It's the clean, but the gain's pushed a little bit. It is the clean channel this time. It's not like I usually say it's clean and it's crunchy. It is clean, but because it's humbuckers, it's pushing quite a bit. In middle, like. So it is clean. And yeah, basically I want to show you, I didn't want to put too much gain in front of this because I don't know how it would react with the synth just yet. And I wanted to show you the true tone of the pedal itself. So I've got the blend all the way down at the minute. The attack is halfway and the level is halfway. Now the level will push the front of the amp, causing more clipping, which is a good thing in my opinion. And the filter I'll demonstrate. I've unplugged the expression pedal right now just to show you with my hand, and we'll just jump over the controls real fast before I go ahead, and there'll just be tons of tones and playing and all sorts of stuff, because I mean, what better way to demonstrate the pedal than just to show you all the different cool sounds you can get with it. I'm also going to run it into the Kemper with some reverb and delay, and we're going to try all sorts of different sounds. So here we go. This is the clean. Here comes SYNTH-1, blend off. But as the attack's at halfway, you're going to hear that it's fading in. Now, if I put the attack all the way down, it'll be longer. It's a cool sound. It's like a volume swell. Again, we're not hearing any of the synth quite just yet. And then if I put the attack all the way up, you won't notice at all. And if I push the level, so again, level back down, and I'm going to put the attack back down to halfway, and we're going to bring in the sound of the synth, and we're on the sine wave right now, so it's the smoothest of all the synth sounds. That's quite funny. Right. Now I'll show you the filter real fast. So all the way down. You get the idea. So I'm going to plug the TRS back in. So it's going to override that filter control. So I've got it on my foot now. So it's very cool. So here it is. Filters all the way up. Let's hear, so that was sine wave. We'll move on to saw. And square. There's clearly a difference between the three. And as I said, it's a heavy-duty rocker switch, which means, I call it a rocker switch, it might not be what it's called, but it's heavy-duty, so it means you can push that with your foot, easily changing the type of waveform that you want to use. So, at this point, we'll just try the chaos switch, and then I think it's about time that I just tone search. So here comes the chaos switch, and it's worth saying that it changes depending on what waveform you're on. At the minute, we're on square. Very, very, very cool. All right, saw. That's almost verging on fuzz, you know, it's got a very fuzzy quality to it. And then sine wave. That is very cool. Apologies for the sniffles. I've got a bit of a cold. I'm hoping it'll pass soon. Okay, so I've gone over the controls of the pedal, so you can hear kind of what they're doing as clinically as I guess I could try and do. At this point, it's really more about finding cool sounds and creating cool bits of music, because it's a noise maker, it's music making, it's inspiring. So I'm ready to try out lots of cool stuff. At this point, you'll see the close-up cam to show you what the settings are, in case any of them sound cool to you and you've got this pedal, you want to try it. But I'm just going to go ahead and play lots of different bits of playing and see if anything cool happens. So here we go. I mean, I will sit all day and try and find sounds with this thing. I am absolutely sold. For me, I mean, you guys that follow my channel will know that I really enjoy pedals that kind of make me try and write something. They inspire me to write songs and sections and riffs and things like that. As much as I love demoing all genres of pedals, the ones that really excite me are the ones that are just weird, that really do sound odd, and you have to find the sound and make it work for you in being creative and making those song sections and things. This pedal has it, you know? It's going on the board. It is going on the board. Tosca is going to be enjoying some Keeley SYNTH-1 goodness in its life. It can sound like a synth. It does that thing that the Moog was doing when I was using it for the album. Like, I can get that kind of tone with it with my guitar. It tracks super well, or not, depending on what you want. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, it's great that there's a blend function on there, but for me, having it all the way up so you're just hearing pure synth tones is how I would probably use it, and that's how I'm gonna probably use it. Definitely with the expression pedal, makes a huge difference having that on your at your foot so that you can really control those sweeps. The way it acts to pinch harmonics is super interesting. The chaos switch is infinitely cool depending on what waveform you have it on, and generally it's just, they've nailed it in terms of depending on how you're playing, what you're playing, how dynamically you're playing, and the type of signal you're providing it with. It really does just mess with the sound in such a cool way, and it definitely captures the essence of the Moog synth thing. Keeley Electronics, you have nailed this. Well done. If you guys want to check one of these out, I'll put a link in the description box below. I recommend giving it a go if you're up for something a bit wacky, a bit crazy, inspiring and different. Yeah, really appreciate you guys sending this over. Very happy with this. It's going on the board. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd really love to know your thoughts. Like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you all very soon.